Have you ever thought someone was rude in English, but later realized they were just being honest or sincere? Hi there, I'm Jason, and this is Jason's Easy English, a podcast that helps you improve your English and learn about American culture with clear, understandable episodes in authentic, everyday language. Today, I'm going to share a short, fictional story about a visitor traveling through two very different parts of the United States, the Northeast and the Midwest. Through this story, we'll explore how politeness can sound very different depending on where you are, especially when it comes to small talk, tone of voice, and how people talk to strangers. Quick reminder, if you enjoy this podcast, don't forget to follow or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Before we begin, just a quick note. This story is fictional, but it reflects real differences you can notice in American culture and everyday English. So imagine this. A visitor, let's call her Anna, arrives in the United States for the first time. Her trip starts in the Northeast, in a big, busy city like Boston. Right away, she notices something interesting. At the airport, people are moving fast, very fast. When Anna stops for a second to look at her phone, somebody behind her says, "Excuse me, can you move?" The tone sounds sharp. Anna feels uncomfortable and thinks, wow, people here are kind of rude. But later, she realizes something important. People in the Northeast of the U.S. are often straight to the point, meaning they say exactly what they mean, without extra words. Vão direto ao ponto, or van al grano in Spanish. They usually have a no-nonsense way of speaking. No-nonsense means practical and honest, without unnecessary politeness. So in Portuguese, maybe sin rodeos. Sin rodeos in Spanish. No nonsense. For many people there, this style feels sincere. They believe honesty means saying things clearly. They don't like beating around the bush. To beating around the bush means avoiding the main point. In Portuguese, maybe something like enjolar, or in Spanish, andar con rodeos. So, saying something directly feels more respectful than sounding nice in the Northeast. At a coffee shop, Anna orders her drink. The barista asks, "What do you want?" No smile, no small talk, just the question. Anna feels surprised at first, but she soon understands that this isn't anger, it's efficiency. In stores, she notices the same thing. Employees help her quickly, answer her questions, and move on. No long conversations, no personal questions. At first, it feels cold, but later she realizes it's just a different idea of politeness. One more thing surprises her: the volume. People often raise their voice, right? They speak louder. Levantan la voz, or in Spanish, alzan la voz. So they raise their voice even when they're not angry. For locals, this energy is normal, especially in very busy places. Now, after a few days, Anna flies to the Midwest, maybe somewhere like Wisconsin or Kansas City, Missouri. And almost immediately, she feels a big change. At the airport, a stranger smiles and says, "First time here?" Another person says, "Hey, I love your jacket." Anna is confused. These people don't know her. why are they talking to her? In the Midwestern United States, small talk with strangers is very common. People chat while waiting in line, sitting next to you on a plane, or even riding an elevator together. This friendliness helps people feel comfortable. At a coffee shop in the Midwest, the barista says, "Hi, how are you today?" and actually waits for an answer. Anna answers honestly, and the barista responds. A short conversation begins. This would feel unusual in many northeastern cities like Boston or New York City. Later, in a store, an employee asks if she needs help and then starts talking about the weather. The tone is calm and warm. Everything feels slower, but more personal. Anna also notices that people give compliments very freely in the Midwest. Someone says, "Great choice," when she buys shoes. Another person says, "You've got a nice accent. I love your accent." These compliments feel genuine, not strange or uncomfortable. One afternoon, Anna asks for directions. The person explains slowly and carefully. They repeat the street names and even say, "If you get lost, don't worry. It happens to everyone." They really want to make sure she understands. To make sure means to be certain. In Portuguese, something like garantir. Eles querem garantir que ela entenda. Or in Spanish, asegurarse. Looking back on her trip, Anna realizes something important. Politeness doesn't sound the same everywhere. In the Northeast, being polite often means being clear, efficient, sincere, and sometimes even loud. In the Midwest, politeness often means being friendly, talkative, warm, and curious. Neither style is better. They're just different. Once Anna starts to pick up on these differences, and remember, pick up on means to gradually notice, in Portuguese, perceber aos poucos, or in Spanish, darse cuenta poco a poco. Again, the phrase is to pick up on. Once Anna starts to pick up on these differences, she stops taking things personally, and suddenly, American conversations in different regions make a lot more sense. All right, I hope that story was interesting and easy to follow. Before I let you go, let's review the main points of today's episode. Today, we talked about regional differences in politeness in the United States, comparing the Northeast and the Midwest. We learned that people in the Northeast often speak straight to the point and in a no-nonsense way. This style can sound rude at first, but it's often about sincerity and not beating around the bush. We also talked about how people there sometimes raise their voice, which is usually normal energy, not anger. In the Midwest, we saw how politeness often includes small talk, compliments, and a calmer tone, with people wanting to make sure others feel comfortable. Learning to pick up on these differences can help you feel more confident when speaking English in real life. All right, that's all I have for you today. I hope you were able to understand most of the episode and learn something new about American culture and everyday English. Be sure to follow or subscribe to my podcast, and please share Jason's Easy English with your friends who are also learning English. Thanks again for listening, and I'll see you next time.